Beep, beep. What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World, and in today's video, we're going to be learning how to make a tech house edit with SSOL.
Yo.
He's going to be showing us a brand new edit he released out on Hood Politics as a free release on SoundCloud. So if you want to support the guy and thank him, make sure to check that out. But with that being said, let's get straight into it. Obviously, you decided to do an edit of this track. My first question is, how did you find the initial idea to do it? Were you looking through YouTube, Spotify for an edit to do, or you just heard the song came on and you were like, what?
I actually found this one. I put together these playlists of different genres sometimes when I just have time, of like 100 songs that just force me to find random songs in genres. Mostly so I have like good music to play at barbecues and stuff like that. Basically, the way I do it is I add like 10, 12 songs, and then Spotify recommends you new songs to add to it. And I just keep clicking refresh. And then this came up. Like Spotify algorithms are a great way of finding like random old tracks.
All right, so you got the track downloaded. You're gonna start the edit. So to make things simpler here, how did you start the edit?
Before I start an edit, I like to personally do an edit of like a section of a song, like focus on. And I actually use most of the song for this, but the section that really stood out for me was the chorus. Eventually, I chopped it up instead of just having it play through, because obviously it's too dirty to really have on the main drop section. So you get sort of the melodic hook bit of it for me to write the bass line underneath. So I started with that, and then I wrote the bass line, which I wanted to be like kind of groovy. It's just a really, really simple, just progression style bass line, this is kind of super typical with the root, and then down 2 semitones, and then down like 5 semitones.
That's the chords, right? That's following the chord progression of the original, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that chord progression is ever actually explicitly in the original. It just seems to be what it's following. With the jumps.
So if someone was to do a tech house edit of, let's say, another song, then the first step is to find the progression for the bass, right? So the vocal can line up with it, and then from there you can make it more interesting, because it's tech house. You want that groovy, so you just got to
exactly. And I personally like just choosing a specific section of the song to write the bass line under if it's not exactly clear what that progression should be, and then building it around that hook.
Okay, so from there you got the bass. So let's go into the creation of drums. So if someone was making a tech house edit for a track, first drums that go in, what, open hat, clap, like what are we rocking?
So typically tech house, but maybe a little bit more of that old school analog vibe than I would do if it was like an original track that I wanted to sound like super modern.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you got that going, right? You do have a lead synth group. Is that adding?
Not doing too much with the lead synth. It was just giving it some like textures. So they're honestly functioning more like perks than like driving synths. I will show that. They're more like ear candy shots than anything else as well. So in terms for this track, it doesn't need much on top of the chop and everything else. And the rest of it's got a vocal. It doesn't really need a driving synth. So the way I've used synths is just to give it ear candy and make it more tech housey feeling.
Cool. So then you got the edit going, right? So you got the drop where you've got your own charm and stuff. Now for this edit, I think the break is where it's sort of like, you allow the song to really take over. So that people, right? Can you explain that?
Yeah. So first of all, like my motivation behind making this edit, as well as the song that the Chuck, I think Chucky's song, I think that's what it's called, was I've been playing gigs where I've been playing a lot of edit focused songs which are just great for people to sort of sing along to and get into, even if it's not like the most like hardcore house audience. So I used a lot of vocal in this track. That's sometimes good, sometimes not good. It just depends what audience you're playing for. But for how I wanted to use this, I wanted it to have a lot of that sing-alongable to vocal in it. So so yeah, a few things worth saying here. Like when you bring it in, you want to keep raising the energy into that B part of the drop. So I added some extra drums. I think the main one you hear is that I'm adding a ride. Yeah, so this is the one of these should be the yeah, this is the ride. They're probably both rides just layered. Okay, so that's a shaker into then adding the ride. So just things like that. You want to keep in that B part of the drop. You want to keep the energy going. So you're adding drums, adding an additional drum when that vocal comes in, a big crash to sort of like announce it to announce the drums coming back in to match the vocal.
Yeah. Did you warp the sample in any way or form so that if it's because you're at 125, I don't know what the original is, but
I warp these loads. You can see all these arrows I've dropped to drag. Basically, I'm not exactly sure exactly what the sample was, but the pockets it was sitting in originally were not quite right for lining up with a tech house track. So probably one of the things I spent maybe the most time on was having the kick, the hat, and the bass line playing, and then warping all these samples was super painstaking.
Warping it. Do you warp it to the tech house beat, and also what mode are you using, and then what are you looking for?
Yeah, so I was using complex. So I'm listening to it through, and you can just hear, if you're honest with yourself, where it's not lining up properly, and you just hear something that doesn't quite sound right. Mm-hmm. And then in that section, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find the transient. So obviously here I had a bunch that where it was bothering me. And what I'll do is I'll find the transients and see which transients are just falling really far off the line. Now, I haven't tried to be like super get everything on the line. You can see here, like it's if you just make everything really flat on the line, you're going to completely lose what made you love the original sample
cool.
and that grooviness to it. But generally, if a section doesn't feel good, try dragging the big transients, which are obviously these things, closer to falling on the line.
Use a metronome, or did you have like the kick clap and open hat going when you were?
I just had the kick clap and the open hat playing with the bass line, because that's also probably a little bit better than having the metronome, because you've got a groove in your bass line. It's not totally hitting the line, so sometimes you want to feel that rather than if you just got a metronome.
Yeah, so you got the sample going in the track, right? So, and you're using a master. It's not like it's stemmed out. How do you mix that when you...
Getting rid of the lows, because that's where the bass is going to fall. And then side chaining was just the last touches I did on these ones.
Cool. So that was SSOL on how to make a tech house edit. If you guys want to check out his brand new track, which is out on Hood Politics as a free release, I'll make sure to leave the link down in the description below. What is it called? I'm not a player, right?
Yeah, I just called it not a player edit.
So not a player edit, but a lot of people liked it. It's a good one to like rinse out if you're a DJ and stuff. Like take it back. But yeah, that's how you make a tech house edit. Find the sample, make a good bass line with it, some decent drums, proper arrangement, and again, just have fun. But with that being said, you guys take care. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. Peace out, much love, and you guys take care.